Meanwhile, UBT Sena MP has hailed the abrogation of Article 370. Priyanka Chaturvedi, who said that there is peace in Jammu and Kashmir post the removal of Article 370. She also went on to add that the elected government in Jammu and Kashmir post the removal of Article 370, where she went on to further add how the Congress has also hailed the move. Salman Khurshid from the Congress, who has also echoed the same sentiment. He has hailed the abrogation of Article 370. So there you see how the political dynamic is really changing, where several opposition leaders are coming in support of the abrogation of Article 370, very different from the position that they had taken earlier. And here you see from Salman Khurshid of the Congress to UBT Sena MP Priyanka Chaturvedi, who have all gone on to hail the abrogation of Article 370. They've said that things have only bettered across Jammu and Kashmir after Article 370 was abrogated. Let's listen in to those responses.
Post Article 370 removal, we saw Jammu and Kashmir see peace. We also saw an election. We also saw an elected government coming to power. Shri Omar Abdullah is the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir. And post the terror attacks, I know he's fighting for statehood there, but post the terror attacks in the assembly, the first thing he said was, this is not the time for me to ask for statehood. This is time for me to fight for justice. So that is the spirit that we fight with. I will go back home. I will go back to India. I will have questions of my government. But I stand resolutely with India, with the Indians, and ensure that in every part of this mission, if our political parties can get together and not be divided, then there's no force on earth that we can't beat.
Kashmir had a major problem for a long time. Much of that was reflected in the thinking of the government in an article called 370 of the Constitution, which somehow gave an impression that it was separate from the rest of the country. But Article 370 was abrogated. It was abrogated. And it was finally put to an end because so much time has passed. Subsequently, there was an election in 65% participation in election. There's an elected government in Jammu and Kashmir today. And therefore, for people to want to undo everything that has happened, the prosperity that has come to Kashmir is something which is very unfortunate, and it will give a setback to anybody.
Cutting across to Rahul Gautam, who now joins us on the broadcast. Rahul, it is heartening to see all the political parties come together on this very sensitive issue. This, of course, is during the all-party delegation putting out India's message on the global platform. But for every Indian to understand that at least some level of political consensus does come about and differences cutting across party lines have been reduced when it comes to a matter so sensitive and for the larger good of Jammu and Kashmir and across India.
Absolutely, and you know we cannot really ignore Jammu and Kashmir because it is not just the integral part of our country, but also a very key aspect as far as India and Pakistan relationship is concerned, and therefore you know it holds a very crucial space as far as these dialogues are concerned. So that's why you know you rightly pointed out that all political parties, including Congress, Shiv Sena, they're all coming out speaking in one voice that how abrogation of Article 370 has actually helped you know in bringing peace and tranquility in the valley. How after abrogation you know stone pelting has actually decreased in Jammu and Kashmir. How elections were held very peacefully. A government you know came in under the leadership of Umar Abdullah for the first time, and this also shows that how India has been at the very forefront when it comes to Kashmir and bringing normalcy in that particular state. So and not just Priyanka Chaturvedi. Earlier we have heard how Salman Khurshid and you remember Shiv Sena had a principal stance against Article 370. However, Congress actually you know when debate was going on around Article 370, at that point of time Congress opposed this move. However, later on they diluted their stance. So as far as Congress and opposition camp is concerned, it's very heartening to see that all political parties, keeping aside their political differences, speaking in one voice and strengthening India's stand on various global platforms. And we must also give this to our parliamentarians that they are not just keeping India's stand forward, before a global audience, but at the same time they're also exposing hypocrisy of Pakistan as to how Pakistan has been trying to create unrest in our country. So clearly, this also shows the political maturity of our political spectrum, and also tells a lot about how these delegations were carefully handpicked by the government. They chose those people who are just not, expert in in diplomatic affairs, who are legal experts, but also going to be, very strong votary or good lawyers of India's cause. So clearly, you can say it's a welcoming sign as far as, coming days of Indian politics is concerned.
Yes, absolutely. Completely agree there, Rahul Gautam. Thank you for joining us at this moment.